All right, today is our 7th anniversary. We got together on this day 7 years ago.
Oh, I forgot to buy a gift.
First day. It's all right. I think it's the diamond anniversary, Sal.
Yeah, we...
And you guys are coming up on, what, 5 years here?
Here.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and 7 years together.
5 years?
in September.
My goodness, it's
Yeah.
gone fast.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
It cruises along. But anyway, 7 years ago today, we did our first show in Birmingham, and we were perusing the tape of that very, very first program, and
Yeah, we spoke about this yesterday before we got off the air, that every year we threaten to play this tape on our anniversary. Even little bits off of it. And we'll say, yep, this year for sure. Come on, it was, people understand. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it makes you feel so uncomfortable because it's so bad.
Well, it's like, if you go back and maybe you've got a recorder or something and you listen to your voice from 7 years ago or 10 years or whatever, it's kind of like not the same, and it's weird to listen to it. We did, on that first show, we did Johnny Cash. Johnny visited.
I remember.
Very first time we ever called Buckingham Palace, and they were actually... judging from today, they were actually friendly then.
Well, they didn't recognize our voices or anything. It was the first time we called.
There was.
And they wanted to be friendly.
Yeah.
So
They were for a while.
We have this tape, so we'll be perusing it for you on the air. I think what we might do is just get a small boom box in here and just over our own microphones, just push it until we find something that we might want you to hear.
We don't want to confuse you, Jennifer, because, if you go from that to, have to play cassette tape, it's really going to be serious. So it's best we just stick with what we got. All right. Okay, so at any rate, stuff to do, things to get involved in, and we invite you. It's 6:35. This is an unusual, of course, is the big show. Now, we have several things we're going to be trying to get involved with as we celebrate our 7th anniversary together. And we were just perusing the tape of the very first show that we ever had together on the air. And it's hard for us to even share this because it's
going to be hard for you to listen to as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't know about the quality here because we're actually running it out of a very small boom box thing.
Get it up here?
Let's see. Yeah, that might be easier. Well, no, it's going to be easier this way. That way we can control it and just put the mic down there by it.
The first thing we did on the air was take a phone call.
All right. Here we go.
No.
We'll leave it out here as long as we can. And, this was 5:30 in the morning. The shift that we did in Birmingham began at 5:30.
We were really tired because we spent the whole night drinking coffee out in some coffee shop because we were locked out of this small apartment the radio station set us up with while we were looking for housing.
We had
only known each other for, 10 days, 11 days?
something like that. And we were staying in the apartment together until we could find other places to live. And we're sitting there, and it was the night. Our first show was for April the 16th, and so it was the deadline for the taxes. So we got in our car about 11, and we drove down to the post office with our little recorder so we could redo our first bit. We were going to interview people as they dropped off their tax forms. So we went out and we did that. We recorded it. But, I guess I thought I had the key, and Brian thought he had the key. We didn't have a key.
Back to the apartment.
Can't get in. No key. And we've got a show to do in 6 hours. And no place to sleep. Neither one of us had any money. So we, first of all, what was funny is that we thought maybe we left these sliding glass doors open that go to the balcony. So we go around the side of the building, and so Brian climbs up this...
doing the Al Monday thing.
Oh, and he looked good doing it. And he climbs up the rain drain, climbs up that, swings like Tarzan on this
But you must know this, the whole time I'm doing this, Mark is laughing at me, cracking up.
Well, he had.
You want to be some assistance here?
There was nothing I could do at this point because you were having to swing from one balcony over to get to our balcony. It took him 10 minutes to do it. He finally gets up there. The glass doors were locked, so we could not get in. No matter how hard we tried, we couldn't get in the apartment. We wound up getting back in Brian's car. We went to an all-night
coffee shop,
24-hour coffee shop. We had no money, and we drank coffee courtesy of the waitress who was waiting on us, and we drank coffee until 5 the next morning, and then we went to work.
And we never paid her back. We said we'd be back to give you the money.
And we never did.
We never did.
We meant to, we just didn't. And so we need to find her and give her back her money with interest. All right, here's this first thing, and we'll do it as long as we can. Here we go.
I-95. Would you play One More Night?
One More Night?
Yes, by Phil Collins.
Yes, ma'am. I think we can certainly do that for you. And you've got that sound as though you might really, really appreciate it. So, Brian, I think we can do that, don't you?
I think so. Is this your favorite song?
Yes.
Is it your song with your boyfriend?
Yes.
It is. I knew it.
So tell me, is like your boyfriend there with you now?
Sir?
Is your boyfriend with you there now?
No.
No, so this is kind of like a song to remember him by.
Because you wanted him to stay. One more night. Give me just one more night. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, sing along with me. Okay, ready to go. Come on, sing along.
What's not?
You gonna sing for me?
Do I have to?
Yeah, if you want to hear the song, you gotta sing for me. Okay, ready?
Okay.
One more. Sing.
Hi.
Station you listen to.
Oh, God.
Hey, our first phone call ever.
It was the very first. It was 5:30 in the morning, April 16th, and that was our first thing we did. It's hard for us to listen to. It is a little difficult. It's weird.
Oh, well, Chuck, there was our first phone call, and boy, haven't they improved.
Doesn't seem much different to me. No, that's so interesting. I love hearing stuff like that. I mean, it really shows you how far you've come, how your styles have changed, how much more adroit you've got at handling things, moving the show along and stuff.
Well, on this tape, we
Still
had,
can't sing, of course.
No, still to this day.
hadn't picked up anything on that. Johnny Cash came in on the show. The first time we ever called Buckingham Palace, they were actually almost friendly and stayed on the phone for maybe a minute until, that one thing was done. And then they hung up on us. First time they ever hung up on us, so we'll try to find those and get those on the air for you.
It was just a god-awful show.
But, at the time, we felt pretty good about it.
Yeah, we did, and in fact, we felt so good that after the show was over, the 4 hours on the air, we were pretty close. We got close very fast, Mark and I, and we laughed at the same kind of things. And show had ended. We felt real good about the first one. So I walk over behind him and start like hunching him, like I'm, giving it to him through the old butteroony.
The butteroony.
It's sort of a celebration booth.
Yeah.
While Mark is putting away the carts, I grab him from behind and just start hunching him, and we're laughing and we're doing this. And as we're doing it, the sales manager brings by the whole entire sales staff to see their new morning show. And so they walk by the glass and look at and we're like this. And we look over, and there they are. And you just got to wave at them.
You're going to sell our show.
Hi.
How you doing?
Thanks
Good
for
to
joining
see you.
us.
Appreciate it. All right, we're gonna go through the tape and see if we can't find something that may be tolerable that we can check out.
No, we haven't got a hair on our lily white butts if we don't play the whole thing. That's the only brave thing to do, but it would just be too disgusting.
Also, let us tell you that we have Nicole is out. She's in Vegas, and we have listener Jennifer, who has never run the control. Before we get into that, we thought we were just perusing the tape, and we ran across a phone call from that very first show 7 years ago. And it kind of is a mirror of not a lot has changed in certain areas of the probe. So we thought we'd just kind of real quickly share this with you, and then you'll know when to take it. And this is when we were making phone calls and posting the record, running it over the intro and right up to the singing.
Yeah, we would time it out. We'd do the phone call during like commercials or something, time it out, and figure out, pick a song that had a long intro before the vocals start.
Oh, yeah, so you have the overlap thing going on.
And so we did mathematics and everything. So it was very cool.
Add and subtracted and gazintas. Here we go.
I-95.
I-95.
Could you play a song for me this morning?
I don't know. Let me check with Brian. Brian, could we play her a song this morning? What color's her hair?
Blonde.
How much do you weigh, man?
122.
And do you sleep in the raw?
Sometimes.
Okay, we'll play a song for you.
Certainly will. Thank you.
That is so bad. That is just old kind of top 40 radio. Isn't it?
Yeah, but you did it good. That was cool.
That is so. There's nothing on this tape that we're proud of.
That's the thing. We keep having to look for things that would, maybe be kind of semi-entertaining today. And there's
No, there's nothing that the only we're going to have to take this angle at it.
Yeah.
And when we play these things,
Yeah.
that it's old radio.
It's 7 years ago, and it's the very first show we ever. In fact, we're still inside the very first 30 minutes of.
We're
our
looking
first
at your
show.
roots. We are looking at your roots this morning.
Yeah, and Johnny Cash coming.
And
up
they're
too.
dark.
Not real proud of them.
We are celebrating, oddly, our 7th anniversary, and what's making it odd is that we're listening back to this the tape of our very first show we did together on this day, exactly 7 years ago today.
7 years!
Now, you know,
I was so young.
it's weird for us, but like Chuck heard the very first phone call we did, and he said, though I love hearing it, I can still hear it's not a real embarrassing thing for you. We found.
Seriously, how long I can hear this?
Yeah, I know.
Peel off your skin.
Yeah, God. And hangs it out and been sandblasted. That's how it feels. It's just a god-awful pit.
Well, see, you've also got to know that we were, you and I we were on the air. We had spent some time in a studio together, taping things, but we had not been on the air together. So you and I were trying to figure out where we were and what we were and how this was going to go and what this was going to be and do. So it's weird.
If there's any interest in this at all, it's that. Just to hear how we sort of...
Well, plus you guys way back then were like in your 20s.
Yeah, we were. We sure were. Way back then.
How old was I 7 years ago? What am I, 32 now?
It might be 33.
I shut up. 32 now.
You're 25?
I was 25 years old.
Yeah. You want to do it? You just play it?
I don't know how long I can hear it.
All right, well,
It may be just for like a few seconds.
Well, now let it go. Now let's let it go as much as you can. Push it as far as you can, because, let's just do it. Hang on. We just got the cassette machine down here. We've just been perusing it. All right, here we go.
I-95, good morning. It's 7:09. We have 9 minutes after 7 o'clock. As we're preparing for the day, look for sunshine, a high of 78 degrees. And as we bend to our knees, it's 66 now, boys and girls.
Mark!
What?
Mark! Gonna believe who's in the lobby!
Who is it?
He's standing right there.
Wait a minute. Could it possibly be Johnny Cash? My God, it is him, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
That's about all I can stand. Turn it off.
Daddy sang bass, Mama sang tenor. Me and little brother shaved our heads and sold books at the airport.
Turn it off! Can you not take
One
any
of the
more?
first, hopefully, to welcome you to the Birmingham area.
Well, thank you, Mark. I just came here to wish you and Brian a very successful time. Well, thank you, Mr. Cash. That's very nice. Well, you two are the most talented guys I know.
Well, Mr. Cash, let me ask you a question. Now, I know that it's rough in this world of music business. How can you stand that grueling touring schedule that you must have?
Well, Mark, I apply myself 100%. Why, I love to tour across this great nation of ours. Yes, I love spending time weeks upon weeks, maybe sometimes months, with any luck years away from home.
Mr. Cash, let me ask you, how can you stand to be away from home that long?
Have you seen my wife?
All right, that's enough of that. There's enough of that bit.
I'm seeing
Turn it off.
Oh, man!
Toin it off. Toin it off.
All right, well, there it is. That's one joke deep into that very first 7 o'clock break.
Ooh, baby.
Of that very first program.
We're so proud.
Yeah.
We're so damn proud.
We also called Buckingham Palace. We'll maybe play some of that. First time we called them, first time they hung up.
You remember
on
the first night we met?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely do.
In fact, I think we have some rare footage of that very first meeting, Chuck.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we got that.
Play that tape.
We're going to the rare footage vault now.
Yeah. We're going to dig down deep inside the rare footage vault. Now, this is the very first, the deepest deep part there.
When we heard we were going to work together, we hadn't met yet, but we studied each other's work, and we were very into each other. We wanted to make that first meeting like we've known each other for years. Okay, let's put on that tape. Oh, no, we got to go in there.
Yeah, we just got to dip in there real quick.
Echo this if you could. Check. Turn up those. There we go. All right, here's the tape. Okay, well.
Got it right here.
Okay, put it on.
All right, first tape. Here we go. Just fire it off.
The first time we met, Chuck. Hi, Mike.
No, Mark. Brent?
Brian.
Oh!
First time we met, right there, was the very, very first time. Actually, what happened was we were in a hotel. I was staying in a hotel waiting for Mark. He was playing softball at a city about 2 hours away where he was doing afternoons.
Mm-hmm. And so the game was late, and I was late leaving and late getting there. But I knew his room number because the guy who had hired us gave me the room number of where he would be staying. And I was right across the hall. I've already been checked in. So I get there. I'm going up the hallway. And, of course, there's nervous jitters. You don't know who they are or what they are or how they are. So I knocked on the door. And I was late. Again, I was like 2 hours late. So I knocked on the door. And for about 30 seconds, I heard the rustling of paper behind the door. Now, again, I'd never met the man. I had no idea what was happening or what was going on.
He figured he was wearing the Jashuzis.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. So I heard the rustling of paper, and he comes to the door, and he has just a little tad of ketchup right there on the side of his mouth. Because, I guess what he was trying to do was he was trying to wait for me so we could go have dinner together.
You were 3.5 hours late.
Yes.
And in fact, I thought it was going to be the next morning when I was going to shake your hand. I pretty much, bedded down and was eating my Burger King.
Yeah, you'd walk down the road, a little place right next to the hotel, and got him some food because he just, I guess, couldn't wait any longer and had to go ahead and chaw down. But what it was, I'm assuming that he didn't want me to see the pit or trough from which he eats. You don't want me to see that, so he he scurriedly got all his trash out of the way before I could take a look at it.
But you sure smelled it.
Yeah, you were wearing a red shirt, a red polo shirt.
That's right.
First time. I don't know why I remember that. But
I remember what you were wearing, too. Isn't that weird? You were wearing this flannel, kind of yellow cream color button-down polo shirt.
I've still got it.
Your tail was out. Your tails were out.
Still got that.
We gave
shirt.
each other the double handshake.
Yes, we did. Shook and and so we talked for a second, and then we went over and we got a cassette machine, and we spent about 3 hours playing tapes for each other. Stuff that he had done, he played for me. Stuff that I had done, I played for.
Now, I'd like to hear those tapes, too.
Well, what we would like to hear is... See, because at this point, we were just talking and deciding whether or not we wanted to do this.
Right.
And so we went through and we really liked what we had heard from each other. So as just a test, we took one of the cassette tapes and we stuck it in the machine and we hit record. And for about an hour, we went back and forth and we just played.
Ooh.
And we recorded it. And to this day, we cannot locate that tape. We don't know where it is.
Covered with ketchup stains somewhere, no doubt.
Of course, now, since we don't have the tape, we remember it being a scream. Mm-hmm. But if we did, pretty sure
we also remembered this first show being a scream, if I remember right correctly.
So, at any rate, that was the very first, and we decided literally within the first, hour that this was that would work good for us, and we were going to give it a shot.
The first conversation we had, I had flown down to Birmingham, got hired, and now we're looking for a guy that knew something about radio with a great sense of humor. And so they were looking for Mark. Found Mark in Montgomery, Alabama, the guy that put us together. We're going to call him later to thank him for this. He's still in Birmingham. Called me up. I flew back to Chicago. He called me up and goes, here's a number of the guy that we're considering, partnering you with. So before I could call, it was 9 o'clock in the morning, the following morning. I was going to call him about noon. He calls up, phone rings, and it's Mark Thompson.
He was asleep.
I was asleep. I pick up, hello? Mark Thompson? Good talking to you. Do Elvis.
I had just been told he did a great Elvis, and I had to hear it. I had to hear King. And so he
So that was like the first words you said to him.
Pretty much.
Do Elvis.
But he took about 30 seconds. He said, look, I just woke up. Let me shake it off. He shook it off. He walked away from the phone, and he came back. Hey, baby, how you doing? I was a little hung up. Yeah. And so we talked, and again, it was a rare and neato experience on those first few days that we did spend in Birmingham before we got on the air together. And that little sampling you heard was the very first show, the second hour. We started at 5:30 in the morning in Birmingham. But as time went along, we never made it. Never, ever made it at 5:30. It would kick off at 6. Mm-hmm. At 6 o'clock.
It's pretty neat, though. The rules that we made, the ground rules of a relationship we made back then still stand today after 7 years, which is why we can still work together in such a close, kind of stressful situation for 7 years.
It takes a great deal of work, as you can imagine, to not only... Well, we don't want to get into it.
Stories are great, and with that backdrop, it's really fun listening to the tape, too.
Oh, cool.
The first show.
Maybe for you.
It's odd for us. It's just a little weird. Even though it may not sound a great deal different from today, it's just odd stuff. Let's have a little more, Johnny.
No, really, I don't think so.
Really, I don't think so. Just a tad. It's not. Look, you shouldn't be embarrassed by. It's 7 years ago.
Oh, well, I shouldn't. Oh, okay, then I won't be. Boy, that helps. Thanks.
No, it's 7 years ago.
Uh-huh.
It's 7 years ago.
Uh-huh.
So with that,
who wrote this crap?
Little Johnny. Mm-hmm. Here we go. Johnny Cash.
There is a woman there that is so ugly.
I got a question for you. How ugly is she?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ed. Why, she is so ugly. If my dog had a face like hers, I'd shave its butt and teach him how to walk backward. But you know, my wife and I, we were lovebirds at one time.
Was ya?
Why, I remember when we went on our honeymoon, we went to a nude beach.
You didn't.
Yeah, we were laying out there naked as a jaybird on this nude beach, and we thought, hey, we better cover those places that ain't seen much sun. So I reached in the bag for the suntan lotion. Instead, I got the Bengay, and then I wrote the song, Love is a Burning Thing.
Alrighty. Well, alrighty. 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 All right. Boy, that was the days, you filled the room with a bunch of people to laugh at everything you say.
Absolutely.
Being funny or not.
Because, again, we didn't know what the show was at that point. We were just kind of running through and seeing what, throw it all up against the wall to see if anything stuck to it. Maybe that particular one that we're listening to.
Stuck extra good, huh? Extra good.
All right, let's take a break. It's 19 minutes after 7 o'clock. This is the big show. Mark and Brian Pro. You want to hear the Buckingham Palace call?
You asking me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I guess you didn't.
Well, it's the first time we call Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, and this leads us to believe, we hadn't heard this tape ourselves in about 4 years, so this leads us to believe that Buckingham Palace is now privy to our voices, because on this first call, we went for maybe a minute before, they hung up on us. So maybe
I actually don't remember it, so I can't be the judge here.
let's share. It doesn't last long. This is the first time we ever called Buckingham Palace. And this is from our first show together 7 years ago this very morning.
Mark kept this tape. I didn't. So I haven't heard this in a while.
All right, here we go. First call to Buckingham Palace.
Nice, go 4832.
Yes, ma'am. Is this Buckingham Palace?
Yes,
How are you this afternoon?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. How's the weather over there?
Lovely.
Is it?
Yes,
My name is Mark Thompson. Brian Phelps. We're calling from America.
yes.
And the reason we're calling, is there a chance we could speak to Queen Elizabeth?
No, I'm sorry. Not available.
Well, no, ma'am, I don't think you understood. You see, this is Mark Thompson and Brian Phelps calling.
I'm sorry.
We see, we're from I-95, and I think if you just kind of told her that we're on the phone, she'd pick it up.
Excuse me, ma'am. Why don't we just clear this whole thing up right now? All you have to do is tell Queen Elizabeth that passion fruit would like
No. Sorry.
Ma'am, this is Brian Phelps. Could you... Hello?
Yeah, took it on that first one, buddy.
Much like the Mike Ditka call from our birthday show, wasn't it?
Yeah, the old Michael.
This is Brian Phelps. Click.
All right, Jennifer, let's try line 5. So stand by for that. All right, you want to call Mark St. John?
Okay, John.
Yeah. Now, this is the guy, he was the program director, the boss of the station in Birmingham, I-95, and he is the one who put us together, who hired us to do the morning show there in Birmingham. So we're going to call his home, because we checked the station, he's not there. We're going to buzz his house. He probably has no idea what today is. So we're going to buzz him up.
Push line 7 in, just up on that big box. Yeah.
205 28.
All right, here we go. Mark St. John.
Hello?
Mark St. John!
Yes.
Mark and Brian,
Hey, man.
you're on the air.
Hi.
Hi.
Is that okay?
Yeah, hurry. I got missed my flight.
Where you going?
What difference does it make? What do you want?
Well,
Now, wait a minute.
yeah, that relationship's still there.
Yeah, you hang on a minute. Do you not realize that this is a very special day?
I do not.
He's always been very honest.
All right, then you're going to have to guess what day it is.
I give up.
No, come on, think about it.
The day you two got married.
No. Well, actually, we did get married on this day last year. We renewed our vows.
But originally.
Originally got together.
Well,
No.
Okay.
It's the anniversary of our first broadcast ever together.
The anniversary of your first broadcast ever.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
And we did it there at
I
your
knew that.
at your station.
you're the guy that hired us. We've been talking about that.
I
you were
knew
the-
that.
Yes.
See.
You're the guy who found us.
You didn't know that, Mark.
No, of course I did.
So you knew that this was...
In fact, we have our Mark and Brian tree here.
And
That's his wife, Betsy.
and we're opening our presents right now.
That's very nice.
And we have built an altar to you. It's kind of like that Elvis thing. And, you know, we worship at your shrine.
Light candles and hum and that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it's kind of satanic.
Yeah, which is cool for us.
Sure.
Tell us this. We have been listening to some excerpts from our very first show at I-95.
Sucked, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. That was pretty much what we were going to ask you.
We have, boy, it has been hard to go back. But now Mark, now it's okay now, 7 years later, to say that it sucked. But on the day that we did it, on the day we got off the air at 10 o'clock, we came up to your office and we were buzzing. And now when we walked into your office, you were proud and excited. Was that fake? Did you know that it sucked, or was it okay for then?
It actually did not.
Oh, no, we've heard. We know. It does.
No, but you could have been, well, you were. I'm speaking to the audience.
Oh, okay.
It was the magic, the excitement.
Yeah.
I was hungover that day. and you guys made me feel fabulous.
You are so
There
full
was
of
an
shit.
electric buzz in the air.
Only because you, the day before we went on the air, Mark pulls us into his office.
Oh,
the show's
I
the next
remember
day,
this.
And he says, guys, I don't want to make you nervous or scare you, but I'd just like to let you know that me hiring you here, I was the only person who thought that I should. And whether you succeed or not is my ass. So have a good show.
No pressure, though.
But have a great show.
Just want you to know we're all counting on you.
So
I got it. It was incredible that day from the very first moment. I mean, I haven't listened to that show in all these years, and I don't probably want to because I remember it the way it was.
Yeah.
It was exciting, and you hit the ground with an explosion, and you just never stopped. And God, I just love you.
Well, you know, we did want to, because we are kind of semi-celebrating the 7th anniversary of our getting together of the first broadcast on our show today. We have played a few excerpts. Johnny Cash, we played. We played the first time we called Buckingham Palace, and a couple of phone calls and stuff like that. But we did want to call you because you were the guy. Literally, what we said earlier was true. No one at the radio station at I-95 in Birmingham, no one believed, no one thought. Mark was the only person. He fought for a long time to make it happen, and you were the only one that thought it might possibly take off.
It just goes to show you, if 5 people tell you not to do something, you should do it.
Now, you knew Mark from a previous station you worked at?
Yeah, we had worked together before.
And you found...
But I also knew him even before that.
He was a record promoter. And where did you find Brian?
Well, Brian was in Chicago doing improv.
And you found about...
Well, through Randy Lane.
Randy Lane was the other guy who was programming another station in the chain in Mobile.
And he knew you through Murphy in the Morning in Chicago, right?
Right, because you were doing stuff in Chicago for Murphy.
But you were sort of like interning?
I was an intern, yeah. Working 40 hours a week, no pay.
Slipping tapes under the door.
So this Birmingham station called and said, Brian, we'd like to pay you $24,000 a year.
Okay.
You mean people get paid for this?
I've only made $5,000 a year up till then.
By the way, Brian, I'm glad to know you're still alive.
Oh, yeah.
I give him the messages every time.
No, it wasn't that. I told them.
I kept calling the hotel, and they said, well, he hasn't checked out, but he didn't answer.
This last vacation we went on.
You know, this feeling that he was going to be, like, in the room, bloated and
It was your fault. You took me to a Metallica concert.
And he got spit on.
By the bass player.
Well, now, where are you and Betsy going for vacation?
We're actually going to see our parents up in, actually my parents, up in North Carolina, just for a couple of days.
And you're driving
It's not going to be a vacation because it's, going to visit one's parents is never a vacation.
Well, make sure that you bring the gifts. Maybe you should wait in opening the Mark and Brian gifts for Mark and Brian Day.
Well, maybe we should just sort of save them for Sunday night.
There you go.
reckon?
There you go.
All right, listen, Mark, we wanted to buzz you up and just give you a call, talk to you a bit about things.
And thank you.
Well, thank you, and gee, I hope you have at least another year. Oh, I'm sorry, 7 more?
7 damn more.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, the 7, some days seem like forever, some days seem like one day.
Isn't that sweet?
Absolutely. All right, listen, Mark, best of luck.
Congratulations.
Enjoy your trip. Have a good time.
Well, we're not going to make it anyway, so what the heck?
Have you missed your airplane?
Probably.
No, get in the car and go. You'll make it.
Okay.
Have Betsy push.
Bye.
See ya. All right, Mark St. John, program director for that first station that we went to work with. And, more special for us just to hear his voice, because that's the way Mark is. Just a real fun, very up kind of guy. And
it was like he read the 60-Second Manager, that book.
Yes.
Because he came, whenever we go up to his office, the longer we were at the station, the more trouble we got into. Mm-hmm. And so we'd go up to his office, and we'd sit there, and he'd kind of chew us out a little bit. But, just like in the 60-Second Manager booklet, he'd come around from the back of his desk and pat us on the shoulder. He goes, "Now, I still think you guys are fine. I support you. I love you very much." And touch us. He'd always touch us.
The 60-Second Manager tells you after you've blatantly bitched somebody out that you do need to go over and physically make contact with their body. So Mark would do that. And it was funny. And he didn't try to hide what he was doing. He let it know, "I'm doing the 60-Second Manager thing now."
Was that, Chuck?
Nothing. I was just going to throw in an inappropriate comment. Thank you for interrupting.
Please do so. Let's go to line 4.
And be with us if at all possible. Thank you for joining us once again, gang. We love you for it.
And thanks for listening the 4.5, almost 5 years we've been here. Mm-hmm. And keep on listening. Some wonderful things coming. We wouldn't be here without you. We say it many times, but that's true. And to you, 7 years, man.
Yeah. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
All right.
Yeah, this is where we get willed up here.
Can I get a legal ID? Or do you have to be legal?
No, you can do it.
Okay.
Do you know how to say it?
Mm-hmm.
We're not done yet.
Oh, hang on a second.
Okay.
We're not done yet. It's been 7 years.
Yes, it has.
No two people have been more fortunate to work together than to be put together as complete strangers and for it to work out like this.
Well, also what you touched on earlier in that because of the rules that we made as a relationship, the rules we made for our relationship, because we've been able to hold steadfast to those and remain true to those original gut rules that we had, we have been able to work together for the 7 years and do it to where we were both happy and pleased with the outcome of each day.
We've gotten married a couple times on the show, but that's exactly what it is, true to life as a marriage. Mm-hmm. And I can honestly say that we have never been closer over the 7 years. It just keeps getting better and better, and the sex as well.
And what also is funny is that, like, in the television days, when we were working literally 19-hour days, you would think, think of this as you sit there. Think, is there any one person you could spend 19 hours a day, 7 days a week with? There probably isn't. We did it. And as the television time went on, as each day ticked by, Brian and I were getting together better than ever, and it was the other people who worked on the show that were arguing and bitching and moaning, and we were just we just got along because we have figured out a way to do that.
When you look at the big picture, you're the only guy that knows what I'm going through,
and vice versa. Whatever one of us feels, the other one is the only person in the world who can feel that with us. So whenever there's any kind of problem, we can go to the other guy and we can say, hey, bada bada bada, and the other guy can go, yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
All right, enough self-indulgence. We thank you, and I love you with all my heart, Mark.
Love you too, Brian. Thank you very much for the last 7.
Good day. Be careful. Take care of yourselves.
All right, gang. Be with us tomorrow at 6 o'clock. It's the Post Big. This is... Oh, go ahead, Jennifer. This is your big moment.
The Total Rock and Roll Experience continues as we celebrate 23 years of rock and roll in 23 days on 95.5 KLOS,
Help.
Los Angeles.